So, as we continue this journey of farming in Ghana and managing it remotely, we've come across some issues or things we found out, and kind of want to talk about it today. Uh, Ghanaians are traveling to pick up produce. Ghanaian merchants that want to sell are traveling to pick up produce like tomatoes and dying for it. Now, if I want to be a tomato farmer, I don't want to die for it. If I want to be a ginger farmer, I don't want to die for it. And if Ghanaian land is so rich, why are we importing so much of the produce that we need? And a solid reason is supply cannot meet demand. But I came across a story in February where 18 Ghanaian farmers were attacked in Berkina Faso, by terrorists, Islamic terrorists. So it's a pretty messed up story. As a farmer, I come across it, and it's something that I got to think about and wonder why such a rich land cannot provide something as simple as tomatoes to meet the demand, to provide it to the merchants that want to buy. So yeah, it's really disheartening. It's coming in. The question is why? So just putting that into the stratosphere. When we came into this, we're doing a lot of research for operational purposes, right? How much are tomatoes in the market? How many tomatoes will it take, to farm 1 acre? The same questions with ginger and gestational periods and a lot of the things you should know, as a farmer. But once you start figuring that out, then you start seeing the other layers, right? The governmental layers, the social layers, the inefficiency layers, the supply chain areas. And for the operational stuff, we've got it down to a T. We have that information that was so hard to get before. And I want to give a shout out to a Form Direct. When we were struggling to figure out and to pinpoint prices, a Form Direct was there. They had a social media presence, mainly YouTube. They have a website where they're connecting farmers to merchants, and they're building a really cool trust ecosystem, and they're doing their part, right? You have a lot of opportunities for organizations like a Form Direct, to be a glue, because government might not be doing it, right? So love to see an organization like a Form Direct, love to see citizens who care about their country get in and help. That's a part of what we're doing as well, right? We're becoming farmers. We're learning the land. We're learning the ecosystem. We're learning the good. We're learning the bad. And we're seeing how we can work with other organizations to be that source, for our country, to feed our people, right? We have about 35 million, 36 million people in Ghana. We should be able to feed them off the land. We should be able to grow the things that are necessary and provide that to our people, at prices that don't jump so much up and down because of whatever's happening around us, especially when it's terrorism that's happening around us. And not only are prices being volatile, but our people are being put in danger. All right. So, yeah, just wanted to mention that, it's not just that February event where those 18 farmers got attacked and about, I think, 5 to 6 to 7 of them got killed. You have these dangerous roads being traveled and women being raped, women being killed, children being separated, from their families. all for the purpose of just supplying. That's very frustrating. So, we're hoping that, in a year or two or three, we're coming with better news and a better feeling about, being a farmer and the produce that's available for Ghanaians, and that coming more so coming from internally than externally, exporting for us rather than importing. So that's the conversation. That's the conversation at hand. I'd love to hear from anybody who has any input. Make sure to put a comment of your thoughts. I'm learning, so the more I know, the better. And make sure to subscribe if, this open discussion part of our process is meaningful to you, because we're showing what we're doing as farmers, and we're putting the information we're finding out about things internally related to farming and externally, because it's a whole entire engine. And we'd love to hear from you and your thoughts on what's going on with Ghanaian farming and the hurdles, the pain points, that we're dealing with. All right. Hope to hear from you. See ya.